It's a song that's familiar to millions of Nigerian children. The adage, knowledge and education without the implements of farming counts for nothing, is ingrained in the minds of children at home and in school. However, in recent decades, it's a wise saying that has been pretty much ignored. Today, many international experts are predicting that food will become more viable than oil in the decades to come. Blessed with vast tracts of unexploited arable land and abundant water resources, Ekiti State is poised to become a major producer of food in Nigeria. After decades of neglect, there is little doubt that agriculture and agribusiness are now major sources of economic growth in Ekiti State.
There is an influx of commercial agriculture entrepreneurs in the state, which was not the case before now. We used to run a pretty sleepy subsistence farming. We weren't even into agriculture. If you take agriculture as business, we were not there. Now we are there. Ekiti has the highest yield in cassava in the entire country. Agric is a long-term venture. You may not see the results of all of what I'm telling you in 10 minutes or a year or 2 years or even in 3 years in some cases, but it's the path to recovery.
Already, the government is strategically and creatively fixing a list of perennial problems that will untap the state's huge agricultural potential. These include insufficient access to land, poor provision of basic inputs, high post-harvest losses, insufficient water supplies, and a lack of private sector investment. Ekiti State's approach to agriculture and sustainable development is designed to support and make smallholder and large-scale farming operations more productive and effective. While most farming in Nigeria is still at a subsistence level, Governor Fayemi's administration is opening up tens of thousands of hectares of fertile farmland.
Basically, when this administration came on board, there was a decision that we took that we're not going to do agriculture by talking and cutting tapes. What we wanted to do basically was to open up land, make the land tractorable, then now buy tractors that can work effectively on those lands, where we can now bring in youths, where we can bring in existing farmers, where we can increase their acreage of cultivation, where serious production can go on, where serious marketers can come and offtake whatever they produce within those hubs.
On the continent, only 7% of African farmers benefit from irrigation, compared to 40% for farmers in Asia. Under the leadership of Governor Fayemi, Ekiti State could very well exceed the national average. In partnership with development institutions such as UNDP and FAO, 3 senators representing Ekiti State, Olubunmi Adetunbi, Anthony Adeni, and Babafemi Ojudu, have selflessly made the 600 million naira Itakpaji and Ero irrigation schemes their joint constituency project. The Itakpaji and Ero dams will meet the irrigation needs of thousands of farmers by providing sufficient enough water for 1,700 hectares of irrigated land in Iyemero, Gede, Ikosun, Igogo, and Ewu farm settlements. Another strategic initiative is the Agricultural Development Program. Currently, 117,000 farmers are registered with ADP. The Odooro Upland Rice Farm is a model for what is happening in other parts of the state. Working closely with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, Ekiti State provides farmers with land clearing equipment, 3 bags of NPK, and 1 bag of urea per hectare. In 2012, farmers received a 50% subsidy on seeds. In 2013, seeds were provided to farmers free of charge. Sunday Osanyi Lucy is an ADP beneficiary.
Ọdún kẹta mo ṣe 2 hectares. 5 hectares nígbà tí ìjọba assist wa ta rí improvement kò ní mí lára kò sí pé mo ṣe tún lọ yáwó cooperative kó tó di pé mo ṣoko so mo increase it to 5 this year mo increase it to 20 so mo wá gbà pé by the grace of God tí program mi kó máa lọ bẹ́lẹ̀ kó máa assist àwọn ìjọba tó bá tún lè continue with this assistance by next year lágbára lórí mo mọ̀ pé 50 above ni mo máa ṣe lágbára náà ọmọ mẹ́ta ni mo ní sí university pẹ̀lú oore ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run pẹ̀lú assistance katari bí tí mo dẹ̀ sanwó mo lẹ́ni tó wà ní health tech gan tó yẹ pé huge amount of money ni.
ADP participants are not limited to men alone. Gender empowerment is a key part of Governor Fayemi's 8-point agenda.
Inú ìgbà tí wọ́n ràn mí lọ́wọ́ ìgbé ayé rere ni mò ń gbé mò ń rówó tí mo fi ń ṣe nǹkan tó wù mí wọ́n ràn wá lọ́wọ́ dáadáa torí gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń lò lóko àwọn ló ń provide ẹ̀ fún wa.
Another strategic agricultural initiative in Ekiti State is the ADP seed processing plant in Ekiti. It's a key part of ensuring that farmers receive quality input and higher yields.
We established this processing plant in the year 1985. It worked for a period of 15 years and it broke down. For the past 6 years, it had never worked. And this year, through the intervention of the ministry, we were able to put it back into shape.
Gbogbo àwọn irúgbìn tí wọ́n fẹ́ gbìn kí wọ́n máa wá láti gbà ní ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn ADP títorí wípé àwọn irúgbìn míì tá ń gbẹ̀ tó jẹ́ ti tá ń gbà lọ́wọ́ ara wa ṣe ló máa ń mú àbàwọ́n àti onírúurú. Bíbélì dẹ̀ sọ wípé ká má gbé onírúurú àdàlù èso mọ́ inú oko wa ká gbin oríṣi kan náà kó bàa lè mú ohun tó dára kó lè mú jáde.
Already, peasant farmers in 177 wards in Ekiti State have benefited from a microfinance credit scheme worth 35 million naira. It has provided each farmer with 150,000 naira at 0% interest. Ekiti State was once a powerhouse in cocoa production. Today, more than 60,000 hectares of cocoa farms are moribund. It's a situation the state government is determined to reverse. His Royal Majesty Oba Philip Eniayewu Oyediran, the Olosin of Osin Ekiti in Oye local government, is a traditional ruler who believes his place is both in the palace and on the farm. Shortly after coming to the throne, Oba Oyediran says he prayed a simple prayer.
I asked God, I said, God, you know I'm a tailor. What do you need to offer me there? God told me, he said, why not take farming? This place is a thick forest. It has been abandoned for more than 30 years. They cleared this place for 4 months before we can finish it. 4 good months. Then we clear it again. The 3rd time, then we begin planting.
With help and input from the Ekiti State Administration and the federal government's GES scheme, Oba Oyediran has successfully planted more than 10,000 cocoa seedlings to replace many of the old and unproductive trees on his plantation. He is just one of many farmers who have already received 350,000 cocoa seedlings at highly subsidized prices.
What we are seeing now, we have never seen it before. The government is trying. It's doing well.
The Youth in Commercial Agricultural Development Scheme, otherwise known as YCAD, is one of Ekiti State's most effective agricultural strategies. Hundreds of youth and university graduates have enrolled in the YCAD program. With close to 2,000 hectares of farmland under cultivation, they're already making a very significant difference. Timitope Aroge is one of hundreds of YCAD participants. A medical doctor by training, he's now a full-time cassava farmer and processor.
2013 to 2014, a minimum of 1,000 hectares of cassava was planted in this through this program. And is an unprecedented success, and I'm not joking about it. No state government, they can say, yes, they are planning to do it, but ask them a year after if they have been able to do it.
Recently, his company acquired a $3 million loan facility to to expand his cassava processing plant.
We have retired people that we buy cassava from, and we encourage them to tell, look, in 2014, we are coming in big and we want you to continue to plant. So we want a situation whereby we are actually encouraging people in farming. If the agricultural sector is being modernized, then we encourage as well by also going into high value processing of this agricultural product, such that people will see continuity, they will see strategy, and they will see a kind of pathway that is leading to a robust wealth creation system for our society.
Helen Oni and Peter Amoni are also YCAT participants. Their passion and love for agriculture is contagious. Not content to be single crop farmers, their agricultural activities include cassava and oil palm, among other crops.
There was a time that I asked one of my colleagues, why can't you take a job in agriculture? He said, that is what my father is doing, and even up till now, he has not been making it. And I answered him in Yoruba, the guy was very annoyed, and even until when we graduated, the guy didn't greet me because he was annoyed. And the guy is even from Ekiti here. But I had passion for agriculture. I believe in putting food on people's table.
Financially, at least if you have 10 hectares of cassava, at least averagely, you make nothing less than ₦1 million from that. And have it 20 hectares in a year.
YCAT participants such as Helen and Peter are helping develop massive cassava plantations in Ekiti State to meet the needs of uptakers such as Thai farms, flour mills, and Nigeria starch mills. This truck is being loaded with cassava tubers that have been purchased by a mill in Anambra State.
The idea behind YCAT was to give our young people a renewed sense of purpose. What we basically did was to select them through a competitive process to determine the level of seriousness and then empower them. We also provided them with training opportunities. We have a farm manager who is exclusively devoted to YCAT.
What I'm trying to do is to get the YCAT participants here to be independent of government with their own mechanical equipment and tractors. Being here, it's fantastic because it is very agriculturally rich. I'm surprised that it hasn't been tapped commercially before.
It's been an amazing result for us. I'm glad also that even the federal government is beginning to look in the direction of youth in commercial agriculture. And this, from what I understand from the minister, is going to be one of their test runs for it.
Another successful YCAT participant is Olufemi Fabi. He is the CEO and business manager of Ekiti Empire Feed Mill. Once a state-run venture, his mill is now a private, public sector partnership that is doing brisk business.
This has been a program that is very laudable, has brought a lot of youth that would have been looking for white-collar jobs out. And actually, people are tending towards self-employment. People are tending towards entrepreneurship. Somebody like me, I actually provide job and I've been able to contribute to the economy of the state by reducing unemployment.
Ademola Olowodu is an enthusiastic young YCAT farmer whose passion is poultry.
I'm one of the youngest farmers in the state who really believe in doing farming as a business. We are one of those very few youths that really take it as a business, and we are proud doing it. I can proudly say that we are working towards a very big and magnificent processing plant so that we also can invite the markets, let them come over here instead of selling live to Ibadan, to Lagos, and they will still bring it back to us here to eat. And we have the infrastructures on ground, courtesy of the state government.
Ekiti State's goal is to have 20,000 youth trained, employed, and actively engaged in mechanized farming and the whole agricultural value chain by 2014.
Whatever we have comparative advantage in, we are bringing it to the fore The government has actually created a platform for you to operate and make your millions within the space of agriculture.
Kò síbi tí Governor Fáyẹmí tí ò touch ní gbogbo àwọn ìjọba tó ń ṣe mostly léèlé tó kàn wá jù lọ́ndà agriculture ó ṣe nǹkan tó ń yà lẹ́nu because ìgbà tá a sọ pé ajílẹ̀ 5,500 ní báàgì ajílẹ̀ kan kò sí farmer tó lè ẹ̀dí ọkọ̀ wá lọ at least mo ti lo almost 60 bags síbi bó ni mo ti fẹ́ rówó ra tìjọba dẹ̀ sọ pé kẹ́ wá sign lásán ẹ̀ wá kó tẹ́ bá produce sàn kẹ́ wá sanwó ẹ̀.
If current agricultural transformation plans go according to schedule, Ekiti State is well on its way to meeting its own food needs and becoming a major player in Nigeria's food supply chain.